All right, in this moment, if it's going out of my way, if it's going out of control, if it's spinning out of, what can I control in this moment?
Just keep stacking days. Just keep stacking days.
Recognize.
He was like, the only thing that you can do is win so big that all of them constantly compare themselves to you.
You will see the change. Everything that you want is on the other side of hard.
You against you.
Everybody's on their own path. And I don't want to judge someone for wanting to be free and easy. I just want you to understand that there's a cost to that. And the cost that you're going to have to that isn't going to come until later.
Success is the only revenge.
Of the people that don't make it through SEAL training, they didn't make it through because they quit.
To wake up every day and say, I'm stupid, but I want to figure out a way to be smarter. And I'm looking at myself in the mirror going like, God, dog, dude, you are something else, man. Like, you have created a character. So your box becomes so small of things you can do.
Winners focus on winning, and losers focus on winners.
No complacency, no backing off.
No one wants to die. Even people who want to go to heaven don't want to die to get there. And yet, death is the destination we all share. No one has ever escaped it. And that is as it should be, because death is very likely the single best invention of life. It's life's change agent. It clears out the old to make way for the new. Right now, the new is you.
The ultimate lesson here is this.
If you're not real and raw with who the fuck you are, nothing's gonna change.
Get on track. Get on it now.
There's no hacks, bro. It's you against you.
Fear is a mile wide and an inch deep. And so it looks like this ocean that you're going to step into and drown. But as soon as you step into it, you realize it was not that deep at all, and you can keep walking through it.
My emotions are now leading me down the wrong path. I'm in control. I'm not going to allow my emotions to make my decisions. They're in the calculus. I'm not saying take your emotions out of the calculus, but they have to be one component of your calculus, not the whole equation.
Most people need to shut the fuck up and focus on that version of themselves they want to become and actually be willing to become it. And that's what's ultimately going to create the fulfillment that you're looking for.
And if you misunderstand that, you have a real problem. A real problem. I can understand you misunderstand me running down the street, shirt off, fuck this, yeah, I can get it, I get it. If you misunderstand what I'm saying right now today, the problem is you, and you don't want to fix it.
If you actually take the step and realize that it's not death, you're not going to drown immediately. There's plenty of other steps you can take from there, even if you get a little wet.
It's going to be the work that you fucking do to become that version of yourself that is the exact version that you know you're supposed to become, and then being proud of it.
It's still there. My mind's telling me, go.
That's what's going to create the fulfillment that you're searching for.
And that's how you get better. That's how you fix yourself. That's how you grow.
Life has this cyclical nature where it's, what you do on Monday, it's fantastic, but then Tuesday is a bad day. But guess what? There's Wednesday.
Because you're sad, now you're going to make a bunch of bad decisions because you're sad. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that.
He's like, it's not the best revenge. He's like, it's the only one. There's no other revenge.
The results don't really matter. It's the figuring out that matters.
Get control of your emotions and carry on with your life. It's time to carry on.
All you can do is think about your goal and winning. When you win, that's when you become so big that they shrink into irrelevance. You cast a shadow that no one even can see them behind you.
A lot of people, man, how do you do what you do? At the end of the day, I ask myself one question: can I take one more step? And usually the answer is yes. So if you can answer that question and not take another step, that is real failure. That is real quitting. So a lot of people can take one more step, but they choose not to. I don't know if you can take 2 steps. You got to answer that question after you take the first step. But I can always take one more step. So if I choose not to, that's on me. And I got to live with that. For you to finish that race, even though I DNF'd, I still finished in the time.
You're too tired, or you're too sore, or you're just plain not feeling it. Lies. Lies, lies. And the list goes on and on and on. And it doesn't stop if you don't make it stop. So recognize the excuses are not valid. They aren't.
I really think the biggest cheat code in life is just going after it and not being concerned of whether or not you fail at one specific task. Instead, understanding the big picture, what your long-term goal is, and knowing if you keep driving forward and never fucking quit, in the end you will succeed.
When everybody leaves, oh man, I wish I was going home to my fucking beautiful family. That is true.
Subscribe to my channel.
But you gotta learn to shut your feelings off if you want to achieve greatness.
Don't waste your time.
Your feelings have to go away.
That's why failure always says your friend, guys. Because you don't like that feeling. It's like when you're in the gym and you're training hard, your muscles doesn't like to be worked that hard. So with Rust Nutrition, your muscles grow back stronger. I didn't like losing. I didn't lose that much, by the way. I didn't like that losing. So when that match was over, my hand wasn't raised, dude, I was fucking killing myself to make sure that didn't happen again.
The truth will set you free. You have time. You have the skill. You have the knowledge and the support and the willpower and the discipline to get it done. Burn them down. Go out and get it done.
You're more powerful than you think. Way more powerful than you think. I mean, God only knows what you are in the final analysis.
Focus on right now, because that is all you've got. It's what we do with it that makes the difference. Don't waste your life.
There's not one empty bone in my fucking body, because I have figured out that really the magic potion, at least to my life, and it's very rewarding.
And you young guns out there, 18 years old, 20 years old, 24 years old, listen, life goes by. And it goes by quick. Don't waste those years. Don't waste them. Live them.
Look at yourself, man. Look at yourself. What am I going to do today to change what I see in this mirror?
The better life you're going to have. Healthier, wealthier, stronger, smarter, better.
You're going to see me for who I am, because I need to change who I'm not.
I know some people that waste hours playing little games on their phone. Games that are built and designed to release dopamine and keep you playing.
You're blind to your own weaknesses, but you're also blind to your own strengths. And so then I think, well, if you got your act together, it'd be better for you, and instantly it would be better for your family, assuming they wanted you to get your act together, and not everyone does, and then it would be better for the community. It's like, how far could you take that? If you stopped wasting time, and if you stopped lying, and if you oriented yourself to the highest possible good that you could conceive of, and you committed to that.
It's the big thing that's happening. You don't want to miss it.
A simple truth in life is things are not going to go your way. Things are not going to work out the way you planned. Things are not going to be the way that you wanted them to be. Part of it is suck it up, buttercup, get up, keep on going, dust yourself off, because everyone else you have looked up to has failed, myself included. And if they were able to move from setback to setback without losing steam, without losing the faith, then why can't you?
The hardest thing in life, guys, isn't doing this stuff. Isn't going past your current levels of comfort. Hitting new levels. Getting knocked in your ass. That's not the hard part of life. The hard part of life is when you don't have the time to do this anymore, and you didn't achieve everything you wanted to do. And you look back on your life knowing there were pockets throughout your existence where you could have applied yourself. Now all that's left is you in a self-arrest, self-paralysis state, thinking, wow, I could have been great. Wow, I could have done something with my life.
Where is the wealthiest place in the world? Do you know? It's not China, it's not Dubai, it's the graveyard. Because in the graveyard, you will find inventions never invented, businesses never erected, songs never sung, books never written, ideas never nurtured, people never realized, because they were scared to take a risk. Scared like you.
That their weaknesses can be their strengths. A person's strengths are often their biggest weaknesses. I don't accept that I am what I am and that is what I'm doomed to be. No, I don't accept that. I'm fighting.
There's nothing worse than getting to the end of your life and saying, damn, dude, I didn't even really try. You know, and that's where you're headed if you don't go.
And if you're an old man like me, and you haven't gotten on track yet, fight that ticking clock with everything you got.
Hey, I don't care who you are, what race, what age, what gender. I don't care about any of that stuff. But what I do know is that you have a dream inside of you.
Success and failure are generally slow processes. You've got to pay attention. I'm always fighting, I'm struggling, and I'm scrapping, and I'm kicking and clawing at those weaknesses to change them, to stop them.
Life is never going to be easy. It's never going to be quick. It's never going to be fast. You're always going to have obstacles. You're always going to have hardships. You're always going to be frustrated in certain things. You're going to have one great day for every 10 days that are hard. That's reality. And you're going to have to learn how to operate when things get hard. That's it.
But each and every day, I get back up and I move forward. And I fight with everything I've got to overcome those weaknesses and those shortfalls and those flaws. As I strive to be just a little bit better today than I was yesterday.
Conditions are never going to be perfect. Things are always going to be hard. The only hope that you have is to become someone who can push through that hard regardless of what the is going on.
There's only one person to blame, and that's you. They cannot make you look at their junk.
Nothing can stop you.
People who find themselves having losses, not reaching what they want to create in their life, it's because they focused on winners. They focused on throwing shade at other people. They focused on comparing themselves to other people. So comparison is the thief of joy. Winners continue to focus on winning, and they continue to try to seek out wisdom.
95% of the game, like I said before, is right up here, guys. If you guys fucking believe you can do this, you can eat fucking Twinkies and become the fucking man. Today I'm gonna change my fucking path. I'm gonna get on the path of success. I don't care how long that road is. I'm gonna see it through no matter what, because you know what? I've been living enough years in this shithole, and I don't want to be here anymore.
Free your mind, stop scrolling, stop clicking, and start living.
And then you think, well, what's the barrier? And the barrier is, are you willing to accept the responsibility? And part of the answer to that is, reduce the damn responsibility until it's tolerable. You don't have to fix everything at once. You could just start by fixing the things that you could fix. Do it. See what happens. That's what you should have been taught in university, right from the beginning.
And every passing moment, we would never get back again. You would never start this video with the same perspective you had when you click play. You would never brush your teeth the same way twice in your life. There ain't no rewind button on life. We have to be here. We have to be in it and make the most of it. We have to live our dreams now because they are possible.
Rome wasn't built in a day. We all know that. Everyone hears that. But Rome also didn't fall apart overnight either. It took hundreds of years for Rome to reach its peak, but it also took time, hundreds of years, for Rome to decay and fall apart. You don't achieve worthwhile goals quickly or easily. They take time.
Do not go where the path may lead, but go where there is no path and leave a trail.
You are either gaining ground or you are losing ground.
When you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person that walked into it. That's what the storm is all about. When you can't control what's happening to you, control how you respond to it. That's where your power is. When you can't control what's happening, control how you respond to it. That's where your power is. Control what you can control. That's the first thing I go to.
It tests you and see how much of this you can take before you say, let's just be finished with this. You know what I mean? It wants to show you something. It wants to see how much you can take, how much you can handle of life. You say you love life, you want to live life. I'm going to show you life. I'm Life is beautiful, but you have to accept the good and the bad as being beautiful. You can't accept the good. Oh, this is beautiful. Then we lose somebody. Oh, life sucks. Life is beautiful because life gives us the ability to just know them on our journey in life. We met them. We loved them. We cared about them. They cared about us. That's the purpose of life. Just to enjoy what we had while we journey through it.
Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary.
Life is not really long. Let's say the average person 30 years old. If you're 30 years old, you are not but about 7 years old. How can I prove it? Add up all the 7, 8, 9 hours you slept for 30 years. Out of 30 years, out of all the nights, last night when you went to bed and woke up this morning, you don't remember a thing. You've been unconscious for about 8 years. If you're 30 years old, you slept about 8 years.
Because sometimes we don't understand, like, what is this thing? What is my purpose? Why am I here? Why do I have to go through this pain? Why do I have to go through this fear all the time? Why can't it just be peaceful all the time? Then it wouldn't be life.
I can control my attitude. I can control my words. I can control my perspective. I can control the lens of which I see it. What can I control in the moment when I can't control something externally, right? Because if I can control what I can control in the moment, what's happening externally is not going to affect and impact my true potential and my true advancement as a person, which is the things that I can control when I'm viewing a situation, when I'm responding to a situation. Most importantly, can I use it?
So you add up all your traveling, add up all your sleeping, add up all your school, add up all your entertainment, you've probably been half your life doing nothing. So what am I'm 35 years old, 30 more years, I'll be 65. We don't have no more influence. We can't do nothing much at 65. Your wife will tell you that.
Set up some aims for yourself, goals that you actually value.
You think when you're young that you have all this time. You have no time. There's no time. I mean, one of the quotes on the wall in the gym in there is, there is no tomorrow, from Rocky 3. There is no tomorrow. Fuck that shit. Let's get all this shit done today.
The next year is going to go by whether you're doing something about your life or not. I mean, we're sitting here right now at the end of February, and the next 10 months are going to go by whether somebody is working to make change or whether they're not. I'm way better off than I was at the end of February. So you made little changes and they all added up. And if you don't, by the end of the year, you're just in deeper. So every little bit matters.
Driven human beings are going to always feel like they're behind. They're going to always feel like they're not doing good enough. They're going to always feel like they're not far enough. They're going to always feel like you're losing. Look, winning, this is how it feels. 90% of the time, you're going to feel like you're getting your balls kicked in, all right? 8% of the time, you're going to be confused and you're frustrated. 2% of the time, you actually win. And those moments come and go, and then you're back in the 90%. And that's the reality of a winner's life. People don't understand that. They think it's all about cruising around in a cool car, having a free and happy and easy and go-lucky life. And that's not reality, because true winners are built for the fucking fight. They're built for the battle. They don't find peace and joy and happiness in the win. They find what they're looking for in the fight.
And I started working out like somebody. I became the most obsessed person on the planet Earth. And I was basically, I had to invent a guy that didn't exist. I had to invent a guy that can take any pain, any suffering, any kind of judgment, be called nigger, be called whatever the fuck in the world, and be able to stand in the fucking room and say, go fuck yourself. I had to build this callous mind, and I built it through suffering. I built it through downright fucking just crushing myself. If it was raining outside at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning, if it was snowing, the first instinct is don't go out there and do shit. My instinct was, we gotta fucking go out there. Anything that was fucking horrible in my life that I would normally say no, that was inhumane to most people, I had to go do it. And I started callousing my mind at this point in my life.
You're not going to win it. You're not going to score on every shot.
Right.
Doesn't mean you shouldn't take the shots. Doesn't mean you shouldn't try to hit the goal. But part of being able to continue to take shots is to have the strength of character to tolerate the fact that in that instance, you weren't on top.
You'll never meet a hater doing better than you. True statement. I started having fun with it. So I'll go through the comments while most people don't go through comments. I go through them, intentionally look for the bad ones. And while I'll block and delete you because the people on my page don't need that negative energy, I'll block and delete you, but I take a snapshot on my phone and I put it in the archive. So what happens is there's days where I'm like, you know what? I really don't want to do this today. And I'm like, oh, hang on. So I started making these mixtapes with all of these hate messages about people talking shit. And it became such a source of fuel that it was amazing because I know why you hate me.
What is life? What the fuck is your life? Are you happy with it? And if so, is just the intake and outtake of breath makes you put a smile on your face? That's something your fucking mother gave you. You haven't earned that. What have you done with your life to make it something else besides the normality of everybody else? The intake and the outtake of what you call life is nothing more than time. And unless done something with, it's forgotten about. There's no footprint of your existence left for anyone else to follow. Life is time.
It's about winning. It's about being the best. It's about doing something other people can't do or haven't done or don't have the balls to do. It's a different game. See, people who think it's about money and success and cars and houses, they get it confused. Because shit's cool. I like that shit. That's part of my life. But that's not why I do this. It has nothing to do with it, actually. I don't really give a fuck. In fact, I drive home to probably one of the coolest houses in the whole country, maybe even the whole world, with one of the coolest car collections in the world for sure, and one of the coolest headquarters of one of the coolest companies that exists on the fucking planet every single day. That's my life. And I'm highly dissatisfied with it.
It's half comical and it's half inspiring. I'm actually inspired by it.
The differential between those people is belief. One person with belief overrides 100 people with just intent.
Not because I want more, but because I recognize that I'm not even close to the best. I'm not close, like, dude, yeah, I've provided income, I've created jobs, I've done shit, but like, bro, there's so many people that are so much better than me and have done so much more than me, and that's the game I've chosen to play, and I've dedicated my life to it, and I intend to fucking win it.
This workout, it's gonna bring that belief back in your life. It's a back workout. And after this workout, not only will you have a stronger back, you'll have belief and confidence put into action. Life. No longer is your life filled with stop signs and yield signs and halts and this shit and fucking unauthorized motherfucking signs. Life begins now. If it doesn't begin now, your life is fucking over.
So if you see the vision, the imagination, but you don't ask God for it, what you want him to do? He showed it to you. Faith without works is dead. So now you got to put in work.
You got to have somebody, whether it's yourself or a friend or somebody that's going to say, look, did you do what you said you were going to do by this time? And if you don't, hold your feet to the fire. Because, I mean, just sitting around dreaming someday, you know, I mean, someday I'm going to get a different job. Someday I'm going to change this. Well, someday ain't a day of the week. You know, there's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Look on your calendar. Some days not on there. So you got to say, okay, I want to take this small step by here, this small step by there, this small step by there. And then pretty soon, you know, we don't leap tall buildings in a single bound. We take it a floor at a time.
But if you don't work, if you don't ask him for it, he cannot give it to you because he created us with the power of choice. We make choices every day. If you decide that you will be poor, there's nothing I can do. You're gonna be poor.
Some people aren't wired to live like that. In fact, most people aren't. In fact, it's less than 1% of the actual population. That's why the 1% is the 1%. All right? So you have to understand, if you're out there building something, whether it be an athletic career, a professional career, physique, a business, whatever it is you're building, you're going to spend most of your time feeling frustrated. You're going to feel most of the time like you're losing. You're going to feel like most of the time you're getting your ass kicked. And then some good stuff's going to happen. All right. But then after the good stuff happens, you're going to automatically flip your brain over to what's next.
And I started realizing through this process that the fucking mind is what you created.
The difference between a dream and a goal is a timeline and accountability.
Yeah. To get through where I became, to get through where I'm at now, and the more doors I open up, the more I start realizing that my potential is damn near endless. And it changed my whole mindset. So I went from David Goggins and I created Goggins.